Is there a blue wave going all across Canada with the election of Prince Edward Island last night? A Tory minority government. Is Justin Trudeau going to be facing a big blue wall come the federal election in 2019? Brian Lilly is here with me. So we see Alberta, obviously Ontario, Saskatchewan is green-blue. We know that's happening there. The CAQ in Quebec. Now Prince Edward Island, and of course New Brunswick just a few short months ago, and coming up in the next month is the province of Newfoundland. All right, so is Justin Trudeau facing the big blue wall?
He is. Now, is this good for Andrew Scheer or not? That's something we can get into in a moment. But let me tell you, Adrian, I was with Justin Trudeau when he was meeting with the premiers for one of the first times. Shortly after his election, he gets all the premiers together in Ottawa. The only thorn in his side there, Brad Wall, now retired Premier of Saskatchewan, leader of the Saskatchewan Party, the Free Enterprise Coalition. They don't describe themselves as conservatives, but they pretty much are. Now Scott Moe's in charge there. The party hasn't changed, but all these other parties. That was the only province that was governed by someone that was not a Liberal or a Liberal-friendly New Democrat, like Rachel Notley in Alberta. This has been a sea change. You know, when you talk about American politics, you look at not only, okay, so who's winning in congressional races, who's winning in Senate races, who's winning the presidency, but who owns the governor's houses? Well, in this case, it was essentially the provinces have switched from red and orange to blue. Does that help Andrew Scheer? I'm not too sure about that.
So let's unpack that a little bit before we address whether or not it's helpful for the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. But there is clearly a rejection of this notion of the liberal values, the liberal philosophy. Perhaps people are just being sick and tired of being called racists, being called misogynists, being called climate deniers. There just seems to be this notion that whatever the federal Liberals have deemed what Canadian means, millions of Canadians are saying, well, no, this is what I think it means to be a Canadian. And even sort of further to that, the Liberal Party in Prince Edward Island didn't want Trudeau to come there. So is it hangover from Lavscam? Is it the India trip? Or is it just a totality of all of it?
I think it's all of it combined. I mean, look, the India trip was kind of the beginning of the end for Trudeau. We'll see. Like, I'm not writing him off. I am not writing him off for the federal election come October.
No one should.
But it was kind of one of those breaking points where people started saying, wait a minute, come on. This is embarrassing to Canada. It was just designed to shore up votes within the Indo-Canadian diaspora, especially Sikh Canadians, because of the election of Jagmeet Singh as the NDP leader. Okay, let's design a trip and go to India and put on all the costumes and then be called too Indian for an Indian. So that was the beginning. Since then, he's had Lavscam. He has blown up his feminist narrative. All the hell. Like, nobody believes that this guy is the feminist he claims to be now, not with the way he's treated women. So he's in an awful lot of trouble, and you're right, the Prince Edward Island Liberals, who went from governing to
majority
third place, majority government to third place behind the official opposition, unless there's a coalition that forms in the next few days, the official opposition is the Green Party. We've never had that in Canada, and they did not want Trudeau to show up on the island.
Let's talk about going into the federal election in 2019, just a few short months away in October, for Andrew Scheer, who smartly went to the Raptors game and didn't go to the Leafs game, so no one can blame him for the Leafs loss. But this is challenging for the leader of the Conservative Party, because what the Liberals are trying to push this narrative out there is that if, like they tried with Jason Kenney, and they even tried to a degree with Doug Ford here in Ontario, this whole notion of white supremacy in Canada and internationally. We have Chrystia Freeland, our foreign affairs minister, trying to get the G7 countries trying to sign some sort of communique about, everyone should reject white supremacy. I mean, that's not what we're talking about here. But that is the narrative that the Liberals are going to push against Andrew Scheer. So play that out, as we've seen sort of these blue walls popping up, across the country.
Okay, so just to quickly address the issue of white supremacy, you're right. Nobody should back that. Nobody should be on board with that. But full disclosure, I've known Andrew Scheer pretty much since he was elected in 2004. This guy is not a racist. He shared a stage with a well-known white supremacist. No, he didn't. He was blocks away from her. But secondly, they're trying to taint Doug Ford with this.
Yes.
You've been out to Ford Nation events. You used to work with the Fords.
Yeah.
I remember in 2014, Doug Ford's mayoral campaign in Toronto, I'm being told by the media, oh, this is just white supremacy. The whitest place in the conference center that we were at were the media risers at the back. Doug Ford attracts support from across the diversity that is Toronto, that is Canada.
So they're just trying to wedge Andrew Scheer into this.
And they tried it with Jason Kenney, whose reputation was Minister for Curry in a hurry. How did that negative campaign work in Alberta? The voters rejected it. So I would suggest, this is my free advice to the Liberals, and they won't take it, don't go there. Don't do this. Look, they've got some good on their record. They've got some bad on their record. Run on your record. Don't go around saying you're going to run a positive campaign, not like those SOBs over there, and then turn around and call your opponents racists with nothing to back it up. This will not go well. It's not going to play well for when it comes to Doug Ford or Jason Kenney, and it won't play well when it comes to Andrew Scheer.
Well, just a few short months away from the next federal election, and could we see yet another province turn blue in the next month in the province of Newfoundland? Log on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.